What is going on, guys? Bruin Steel here. Welcome back to another WWE broadcast. I'm your host, Bruin Steel. I'm joined by Canadian Yorker, and today we are recapping the Monday Night Raw that took place December 30th, 2024, and it took place in Houston, Texas, and we are on the road to the Royal Rumble, which is taking place early in February in Indianapolis. Before we start, I want to wish you all Happy New Year. 2025 is officially here. I hope you all had a great 2024. And yeah, I'm excited for 2025. Wishing you all a happy new year. Canadian Yorker, how you're doing tonight?
I'm doing great today. I'm doing great tonight. Just it's just 2025 is a new year, so I'm stoked. I'm excited. It's the second day. It's day two of 2025. Yesterday was day one of 2025. It's exciting. I'm glad to be just getting back into, just getting back into the gym, working out, feeling good. Want to keep doing it. And I also, want to wish everybody out there a happy 2020, happy New Year, and also give my good friend Boone Steele a congratulations, because he I did notice it was just yesterday Boone Steele officially has reached the thousand subscribers. Now has officially has 1,000 subscribers on his YouTube channel. So just want to give a congratulations to him.
Yeah, what a
So,
way to end 2024. 1,000 subscribers. That's insane. But you guys gotta understand, I'm
yeah,
not just trying to be like some famous YouTuber. I'm doing this for fun. But then say I started YouTube around 2011, so it's crazy to think that I now have 1,000 subscribers. But
yeah,
like I
and I
said,
definitely I hope to get there one day.
I'm not trying to get to like 10,000. I mean, I'm pretty sure I will get to 10,000, maybe in 6 or 7 years. But this YouTube is all about fun. I'm not trying to make money off of YouTube. I'm just that person that's trying to do videos for fun. So if you guys think that I'm trying to be a famous YouTuber, but I'm not, but I've seen people recognize me, like, oh, I've seen your YouTube. But I mean, I'm not. I'm just doing it for fun. So yeah. But yeah, it
Yeah,
feels great getting 1,000 subscribers at the end of this year. But changing the topics, let's get back to the wrestling. Um, Monday Night Raw, last Monday Night Raw, that's gonna be on USA Network. It's been hell of a ride. I want to give a huge shout out to USA Network. And for now on in 2024, WWE is going to be running through Netflix. So this Friday, tomorrow actually, is going to be the first 3 hour show for SmackDown, and next week is going to be probably the best Raw of the year. January 6th in Los Angeles, Netflix. So Raw and SmackDown is going to 3 hours, so that's going to be a banger. But let's get started. Excuse me. To start off the show, we got the New Day. Once again, the New Day getting booed. Kofi Kingston demands their music to be cut off, but he can't really speak over the distinct of the crowd. They head to the ring amidst all of the booing. Xavier was asking what they even did to the crowd before getting into the ring. Kofi said they had a really limited amount of time and they don't let them speak. This is slow, sorry. Um, they get interrupted. They get interrupted by Jey Uso. What's asked the crowd? Oh my god, my thing's acting up. Excuse me. They get interrupted by Jey Uso. Woods asks the crowd if they like Jey and points out that they go way back, but again, the boos rain down. He asks Jey Uso to talk for them, and Jey tells him to be quiet to hear this chump. And I turn away for 3 seconds before my wife is doing shenanigans at me and turns back to see New Day walking out. Jey runs down all the things he needs to take care of and calls Drew McIntyre to the ring for a damn yeet down. Solo Sokola, Tamatonga, and the Samoan werewolf, Jacob Fatu, appears on the Tron. Solo said last week was the beginning of an end, and the Usos made a big mistake going back to Roman Reigns. Next Monday, he's going to destroy Roman in the tribal comeback, and Jey and everyone else will have to acknowledge him. Jey says he doesn't believe that, and Drew McIntyre comes out of nowhere and blindsides him. Drew looks to take him apart. Superkick counters the Claymore, but McIntyre blasts him with a headbutt, laying him waste. But referee and road agents hit the ring to back him down, and Drew leaves with his hands raised in a gesture of peace, only to turn on the stage and rush back to the ring and hit a Claymore on Jey Uso. So that's the ending of the segment. So New Day, like always, getting booed, and then you got you got Jey Uso having beef with Drew McIntyre once again, and yeah, Drew McIntyre blinding signing him. So, what are your thoughts on that opening segment?
So I just want to break this down into three parts. The first part, I want to take it, call it as introduction. The New Day coming in, everybody's booing them. Everybody doesn't like them after what they did to Big E. And let's just admit it. The New Day, this is interesting. They're a really interesting group. They're real interesting. They're now a heel faction. They were a face faction, but now they're a heel faction. And they haven't really been pushed, been growing much as a face faction because they weren't just the same without Big E. But now they are a heel faction. Big E is no more among them, and they no longer have a theme song, which is interesting. I will find it very interesting once the New Day debuts with a new heel song. They're gonna be looking real good. They're gonna be looking great, and let's just say that they're getting a lot of that Dominic Mysterio level heat at them right now after what happened, what they did to Big E. The other thing I want to talk about is Jey Uso now has new Jey Uso and the New Day go back because Jey Uso and the Usos and the New Day always feuded in the past. So now we're gonna see a reignition of Jey Uso and Jamie Uso versus the New Day, and I'd love to see more of that storyline play out in the future. The other thing I want to talk about is Solo Sikoa. Moving on to part two, Solo and Jay. Solo said his piece about he wants Jay to join him and the new bloodline. But he did mention something interesting, and he did mention that Roman is pulling the strings with Jimmy and Jay and Sammy, bringing them back all together because he needs their help. Um, I think I really have not seen since the OG bloodline got back together. I have not seen Roman Reigns himself pro- profusely and repentantly apologize to every single member of the bloodline. He hasn't apologized to Jimmy Uso. He hasn't apologized to Jey Uso. He has certainly not apologized to Sammy Uso after he he was the main reason why the OG bloodline broke apart in the first place, and he has never put responsibly as a leader of the OG bloodline. He has not taken on that role and apologized in front of all of them for what he did to them, honestly. And Solo Sokoa has a right to be upset with everything that's going on. Solo just had a good point. We'll have to see who the winner will be, Roman or Solo on Monday night on Netflix. That's going to be real interesting. What's going to happen? Going on to the third part, Drew McIntyre unleashing his fury on Jey Uso. Okay, because he's never liked Jey Uso. We know that. We know he's never liked Jey Uso. He's never liked the bloodline. I love to see Drew McIntyre going after Jey Uso. That is pure poetry because Jey Uso put him through hell for 3 years. Okay, now Drew McIntyre is going after both of them. This is the consequences. Drew McIntyre is the big bad monster that's hiding in that closet right there. That's gonna come out of the closet and take down the bloodline and the OG bloodline. He's gonna destroy both of them together, and that makes the storyline even more interesting.
All right. So moving on to the first match of the Monday Night Raw, we finally get this matchup that should have happened months ago. We got Chad Gable versus Otis, so we should have gotten this match way before, and it's finally happening. Chad Gable versus Otis is finally happening. Feeling a headlock shut off, shoulder block from Otis, and follows it with clubbing blows to the corner. Action to the floor. Otis in control, back inside. Gable cuts him off with punches in the corner. Whip reverse. Chad Gable takes the turnbuckles, hard chest fists, and bounces to the mat. Otis steps on his hand. Gable with a cross chop to the throat of the ropes roll under. Otis blasts him with a lat roll. Step over, Torho from Gable, wrenching it. Otis fights him off, drop kick, shoves him to the ropes, but rebounds to a big splash, and Chad rolls out of the way. Gable perches up top, diving headbutt, but Otis rolls away, shoulder block. Otis is feeling it, running cannonball, bolts Gable over. Tozawa getting worked out over the Creed brothers. Otis goes after them to save his buddy, and Maxine lands a low press into the mounted punches on Ivy. Gable with an ankle lock as soon as Otis returns to the ring. Otis rolls to his back and kicks the Olympian, but he falls into a grapevine. Standing back and reapplying the hold, Otis fights out. Hip toss sends Gable into the crease. Scoop in the slam. Otis with an ankle lock of his own. We actually saw Otis put an ankle lock on Chad Gable. Imagine if Otis won with an ankle lock, but Chad with a German suplex. Otis swallowed him away on a dive. Ivy Nile runs interference, and Gable reapplies the ankle lock, falling back into the grapevine. Otis taps out, I believe. Chad Gable defeats Otis by pitfall with the ankle lock. So no surprise there. Stupid fucking stupid interference. But Chad Gable gets the win over Otis. Come on, guys, you had to expect this. But yeah. But anyways, what are your thoughts on Chad Gable defeating Otis?
If it wasn't for the interference, Chad Gable would not be interfered. Would not. I repeat, would not be defeating Otis one-on-one, because we know Chad Gable cannot defeat Otis by himself one-on-one. Chad Gable has to have help to defeat Otis one-on-one. Otis is the stronger member, but Chad Gable obviously used his techniques. He used the ankle lock to submit Otis to get the win, and of course, it's a very effective move. But what I understand is that American Alpha Academy, they need a third person. They need somebody who's gonna help Tozawa just fight off the Creed brothers, because the Creed brothers is what getting in the way of them. It's either the Creed brothers or it's Ivy Nile. So they need somebody there who's gonna help them to fend off the Creed brothers, or be it the Creed brothers or Chad Gable. They need somebody, obviously, and that could be anybody. It could be our Truth. He would be a good person. But we need somebody just as strong as them. But who will be that third person who's gonna fill in that role? Obviously, we're gonna have to see who would that third person be. I know we discussed in the past it will be Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn obviously cannot do it right now. He cannot be that person. So it has to be someone else that can do that. Let's just say it's unfortunate that Otis lost. And I do agree that that this match should have been ongoing. It should have happened. It should have happened in the past. It could have happened at Bad Blood. It could have happened way back. But I don't understand, what is WWE doing? Why is Triple H not booking more matches for Otis versus Chad Gable? We obviously need to see Otis versus Chad Gable at Royal Rumble. I would love to see that happen. Okay, it needs to happen. We need to see a match between these two guys so they can settle their feud. That obviously needs to happen. And Chad Gable needs to go on and do his thing. Otis needs to win. I mean, I think Otis would be a really great singles guy. He could definitely make a run in the future. So could Maxine is also really good too. Have to see what happens going forward with that. Tozawa is really good too. When he's not being double teamed by two guys at the same time. But it is what it is. Otis lost, and Chad Gable won. That's the outcome of the match.
All right, so excuse me. Moving on, we were supposed to get Pete Dunne versus R-Truth again, but then Pete Dunne attacked R-Truth, so the match never happened. Um, Moving on to the next match, we got a WWE Women's Intercontinental Championship Tournament semifinals match. So it all comes down to the final four women. We got Dakota Kai versus Zoey Stark. We saw Zoey Stark win when we went to Boston for Monday Night Raw, me, you, and our friend Joey. But we got Dakota Kai and Zoey Stark in the semifinals. Dakota Kai with the big boot windmill punches, whip reverse, shoulder blocks in the corner from Stark, whip reverse, monkey flip. Zoey lands on her feet, jogging out from a position on the apron. Stark with a super kick, German suplex blocked. Stark cuts her off, and we finally, Stark with a suplex and a knee strike, power bomb reverse into a sunset flip. So close, kick and cover. Dakota Kai kicks out, and Zoey turns her around into a momentum punches. Kai counters a dive for the super kick. Fireman's carry. Dakota Kai hits the detonator kick to Zoey Stark. Dakota Kai defeats Zoey Stark to move on to the finals of the IC Women's Tournament. Dakota Kai picking up a huge win. You kind of expected that Dakota Kai was going to win. Dakota Kai was a great win over Zoey Stark, and she's headed to the WWE Women's Intercontinental Championship final. So she will get a chance to win the IC title. So, what are your thoughts on Dakota Kai defeating Zoey Stark?
I think, man, Dakota Kai, she's a controversial wrestler for me. Let's just say she is the betrayer of betrayers. I call her the betrayer of the betrayers. She betrays people and betrays people after she's betrayed people. Let's just put it like that. And Dakota Kai, I think I don't know how I feel about her as she's being pushed as the finalist in an IC tournament. I really think Zoe Stark would be a better candidate because she's from Pure Fusion Collective, and they're shown to be a really powerful, dangerous group. They beat down the they beat down damage control. They've went on a little reign of terror, and now they're just like a poof, And Zoe Stark, has been a really promising protege after she was training with Trish Stratus, and she left Trish Stratus. She feuded with Trish Stratus, and then she joined Pure Fusion Collective. Um, it just seems unfortunate that she's not being pushed. I think is the way that she should be. But now with Dakota Kai being pushed as the finalist, um, it's a great pickup win for Dakota Kai, and it would be kind of interesting to see. Well, what's she gonna do when if she does become the new IC champion? What's she gonna do? We'll have to see what will happen with her going forward.
All right. Yeah. So Dakota Kai. Imagine if Dakota Kai won the championship. I mean, my original pick was Lyra Valkyria, which I think is gonna happen. I think Lyra can win it all, but I wouldn't mind Dakota Kai winning. But the thing is, how is that gonna affect damage control? Will obviously Iyo Sky get jealous? Um will Iyo Sky get jealous? Will Kari Singh get jealous? That's the thing. But but anyways, moving on. We got a six-man tag team match. We got Damian Priest, and the War Raiders, Erik and Ivar versus the Judgment Day, Dominik Mysterio, Finn Balor, and JD McDonagh. But if you guys don't know this, me, Canadian Yorker, and Joey, we actually met Ivar in Boston after we went to the Monday Night Raw in Boston. We actually bumped into him. Well, I saw him first. So we actually met Ivar, one half of the War Raiders, in Boston at the Quincy Market, if you guys know where that is. So that was quite an experience. You guys can go check out that photo on my community post. So, what an experience. I mean, that's like the seventh WWE superstar I met, so it's great, man. Y'all know that I want to meet Tiffany Stratton, so oh, excuse me. But Damon Priest and the War Raiders versus Judgment Day, Dominic Mysterio, Finn Balor, and JD McDonagh. Babyface is in charge early, working McDonagh over, quick taps, action to the floor, bouncing Balor off of the announce table. Erik throwing hands to fight out of the corner, inverted headlock elbow, drop from Balor, but the referee is busy keeping Priest out of the ring. Riding Erik down with a reverse chinlock, but Ivar gets to hot tag, kicks impellently, but nobody home on the Bronco Buster. Tag to Damian. Carlito, like always, run interference, and Mysterio is able to land a chop as things break down. After moonsault from JD gets a freight train crossbody from Ivar. Priest looking for Razor's Edge, countered into a Frankenstein off the top rope. Damian takes him down. Damian Priest hits the South of Heaven on Dominik. So once again, Dominik gets pinned by Damian Priest. Damian Priest and the War Raiders win by pinfall over the Judgment Day. Dominik Mysterio, Finn Balor, and Jay McDonagh. Post match, Finn Balor attacks Priest and beats him down with an assist from Carlito, targeting his leg until the War Raiders make the save. So Finn Balor says it's not over when it's done. So I think they're still going with this whole Finn Balor and Damian Priest feud. Um, but anyways, what are your thoughts on Damian Priest and the War Raiders defeating the Judgment Day?
Domination, domination, obliteration, decimation, um, just just complete whatever shun we can put on this match. It was just it was just too much. The War Raiders and Damian Priest. I'm sorry, Damian Priest and the War Raiders. If they were to become another faction, they would be a dangerous faction that the Judgment Day could not overcome by themselves. I mean, honestly, the Judgment Day has lost a lot of luster. They've lost their appeal. They've lost their focus. They are not the same Judgment Day that they were when they had Rhea Ripley and Damian Priest together on the same team. Now they are opponents, and it's just not the same. I don't. I gotta say, I don't really respect them as a faction much because they're not as dangerous as they were before. And they really need that big guy. They need that person that will lead them forward. I gotta say this: Finn Balor, JD McDonagh, Dominik Mysterio, um, uh, Carlito, these people, Raquel, Liv Morgan, all of them, they have to. Someone's got to go. Honestly, if they want to return to the same level of notoriety that they were at before, they one of them or two of them has to go. People have to leave. They got to be kicked out. They got to get some new members in. Um, they need somebody there that's going to join them. Obviously, that's just my point. That's the way I feel about it. Um, what else do I want to say? It's just complete domination by the War Raiders. They're the tag team champions. Congratulations to Ivar and Erik. Keep doing your thing. You guys just keep working hard and just working hard as champions. Go War Raiders. And that's all I got to say about that.
All right, moving on. We got Ludwig Kaiser on the mic. It was a short segment. Ludwig Kaiser demands all of gratitude for himself and talks himself up and calls Braun Breaker out. Instead, Sheamus comes out and hits Ludwig Kaiser with the bro kick. So this Sheamus Ludwig Kaiser is heading to another level. So yeah, I don't want to talk too much about it because it was a short segment. Um, what are your thoughts on this Sheamus and Ludwig Kaiser? Just a few words, New Yorker.
Yes,
It's really
we got
getting
to see
heated
more
up.
of it. We got to see more of it. I definitely want to see Luke with Kaiser, Sheamus, 5 or 4, whatever they're at right now. Let's get that going.
All right. Moving on to the last match. Well, this was a main event match, so it was the last match of Monday Night Raw. We got the other WWE Women's Intercontinental Championship Tournament semifinals. We got Iyo Sky versus Lyra Valkyria. Iyo Sky lighting her up early, whip to the corner, up and over, duck under hamstring victory roll from Valkyria for two. Um, Pin for two, headlock, shot off, dropkick, and Io clutches her knee. Lyra with the inverted Boston crab into a rocking horse. Out and back in. Sky hobbling, boot up into the corner. Valkyria dragon screws her off of the top. Missile dropkick from Io for two. Up top, joking for position. Io slips out and eats a shotgun dropkick to the turnbuckle. Step up, tornado DDT. Sheer drop, brainbuster cover for two. Up top and joking for position again. Victory throw from Sky, so close. Moonsault to the floor. Io bobbling but fired up. Corner knees connects. Double jump up top, but Vicaria rolls away with the moonsault. Standing switch is over, kicked out of. Lyra Valkyria hits the European clutch on Iyo Sky. Iyo Sky defeats, excuse me, Lyra Valkyria defeats Iyo Sky by pinfall, and Lyra Valkyria is going to the finals, so we're gonna get Dakota Kai versus Lyra Valkyria in the finals. So that's gonna be hell of a finals. Winner will become the inaugural Women's Intercontinental Champion. So, what are your thoughts on Lyra Valkyria defeating Iyo Sky?
My first thought that came to my mind was that this would have been the perfect opportunity for uh, for Dakota Kai to come out and do what she does best, which is betray people. Um, and so for her to come out and betray Iyo Sky in that factor, in that way, because she doesn't want her to go on to the finals, would have been an interesting angle to say the least. It's unfortunate to see that Iyo Sky lost because she is worth so much more. She was once a women's world champion, and for her to win the Intercontinental champion, I mean, that is just as great. But that's like a mid card title. It's close enough to the world championship level, but maybe you'll see that she had win another championship in the future. She's an accomplished person, Iyo Sky. I think that Iyo Sky should have won the championship better. I think she definitely should have won it over Lyra, because Lyra just got to the WWE only about a year ago, and she just made it. She made it to the Crown Jewel championship, and she was going against Nia Jax, but she lost to Nia Jax. Um, but it will be interesting to see who if Lyra's going to be beating Dakota Kai for the championship, and I mean it would have been made it so much more interesting to see Dakota Kai versus Iyo for the championship. I mean, if Dakota Kai versus Iyo happened, man, you would have seen. I think I would have seen someone's gonna betray somebody. Io's gonna betray Lyra. Io's gonna betray Dakota Kai. Dakota Kai is probably gonna betray Iyo if she wins the championship, or if Iyo wins, Dakota Kai is definitely betraying her. That's the way I see it. But like I say, hats off to Lyra for winning, and we'll see who the best woman is.
All right, and I hope my prediction is right. If you guys don't know, I predicted Lyra to win it all. She deserved a title. Yeah, I know she had a women's NXT championship run in NXT before she came, but I feel like she deserves it. She's done everything she wanted. I think she's great. She did a lot of stuff ever since she got called up to the main roster. So I feel, hopefully, I'm right about Lyra winning the whole thing. So, but moving on to the main event. Well, this was the main event match, but we got final face off between the match of the ages, Seth Rollins and CM Punk. Final face off, which is the segment main event. Seth Rollins makes his entrance. He gets the mic, hypes up his match against CM Punk next week, which is going to be a phenomenal match. I can't wait to see it. I'm off next Monday, so I'm going to be watching it. Citing all the superlatives and honors for it, he says he'll be here for the Monday after, and the Monday after, and the Monday after, fighting in this ring because that's what he does. He said that, but if things don't go with CM Punk way, he's gonna cry and whine, maybe take another 10 years off. He gets interrupted by CM Punk. CM Punk says, "Look at his ball," and went home. He is definitely the industry bootlicker click line he ever heard. Where'd you get that line? Did Stone Cold Steve Austin take his ball and go home? CM Punk mentioning Becky Lynch. He haven't seen the man in these parts in some time. Did she take her ball and go home, or is it just him? So CM Punk talking
Oh,
about Becky Lynch. Um, CM Punk says that you want to say he turned his back and abandoned these people, but Seth just wants to cry because Punk abandoned him. He was sick and tired and left, and Rollins stayed and ate it. They both made their choices, and he has no regrets, none. He wants to talk about the last 10 months. CM Punk says, how is Seth's neck? How's his knee? How's his inside? CM Punk said that he saw Bronson Reed hit 6 nominees. Where's his pride? He didn't get a moment of revenge, but Punk broke Reed's ankle. Self presents best in the world, and man, you're damn right. He came back to make money, and next week he's going to make a mint making Seth the victim. He wants to be a little brother. Rollins says, cut the little brother crap. Rollins said his wife left to raise a kid, and Stone Cold said that it was the worst mistake he ever had. Punk left, and he wanted this place to die in the echoes of CM Punk chants, and then he got his buddy's podcast and tore the place down before taking a big chunk of change to go to work for the competition. How'd that work out for you? Um, he stayed because that's how reservations are. You stay in the trenches to fight, and when he takes those 10 months off, it's because Seth makes him. Punk said that he was the first through the ball and got blood for it, paving the way for guys like Rollins. He loved the place, he worked, but hated the guy in charge. But he loved Seth. He left, and Rollins left showed. He left, and showed his true colors and stabbed Roman in the back, and now he dresses like an idiot. He left because he had to and pulled those arrows out after a few years, and he came back for 7 years they chanted his name. Next week he's coming for a fistful of those arrows and jamming them right down Seth Corporate's throat. Rollins said he never said this to his face, but Punk has become a cancer to that locker room and his brain and his business. Cancer did not cure itself, and you have to cut it out. So there's no in 1 week. Bring your fistful of arrows, and he'll bring this fistful of fire and the eyes of hate and rage, and he'll burn Punk to the ground. So yeah, these two hate each other, and when Rollins said that thing about what do you call it? Oh yeah, CM Punk mentioning the man. Um, he said that his wife comes or something like that, and then he's like, she's raising a kid, something that you don't know about or done. So I don't know. But anyways, what are your thoughts on this final face-off between CM Punk and Seth Rollins?
Well, it's a fiery face-off, the final face-off before the matchup that we all want to see. That's been building up for some time. For the past 10 months, it's been building ever since Drew McIntyre's feud with CM Punk. I mean, this has been building up, and I hope that that this feud doesn't disappoint us. I hope that this takes it to a whole new level, just like it took Drew McIntyre versus CM Punk to a whole new level. I hope the Seth versus Punk is going to be a great one right there. Drew McIntyre, I mean Seth Rollins and CM Punk have no love lost for each other. I mean, we were in Boston and we saw them fight. Like they took it from the ring to the off to the courtside area, and they were still going at it, and just wailing on each other, just wanted to tear each other apart. And we have to see what's going to happen with them going forward. Um, the other thing I want to mention, CM Punk and Seth Rollins both have their valid points about what they don't like about each other, and they did point it out. Um, Seth definitely thinks that CM Punk is a cancer in the locker room, and CM Punk thinks that Seth is, you know, being a corporate guy and just following the rules. And Seth thinks that he is trying to mess up things in the company, and he's trying to protect and preserve what is there. And he's seeing CM Punk being there to just destroy everything that everybody's ever built. Um, Honestly, Seth Rollins has his points, and CM Punk does too. And we'll have to see what's going to be the culmination of this. I definitely think will Drew McIntyre interject himself into this. And well, it would be interesting to see. Would Drew McIntyre be the guy that's going to be the special referee if there's going to be a Punk versus versus Seth? If there's a Punk and Seth too, will Drew McIntyre be special guest referee for
No,
their match?
no.
Like how
I don't
CM
think.
Punk
I don't
and
know.
Seth
I mean,
Rollins
it's
will
hard to
be
tell. I
that.
mean, it's
Okay.
hard to tell.
Yeah, but I know I'm stretching it, but that would make it interesting though, because then Drew McIntyre now gets the front row seat to see Punk and Seth just wail on each other, and that would make it interesting, with that going forward. So I don't know, but would that happen? We'll have to see. So,
All right. But yeah, that will do it for Monday Night Raw. Thank you guys for watching the last Monday Night Raw for USA Network, Netflix, coming your way next week, January 6th in Los Angeles. I can't wait. And Raw and SmackDown are going back to 3 hours. SmackDown's going to be 3 hours. It's always been 2 hours, so SmackDown is going for 3 hours. I can't wait for that. But anyways, in terms of grading of the show, I give this show. I mean, it was great, man. I love this show. It would have been great if we saw a lot, but it's like, yeah, it was great and all. I enjoyed it. I'm giving this show a B minus. I mean, excuse me, a minus. How about you, Canadian
all right,
Yorker?
I'm giving this show an A minus as well. Definitely a great show. There's so many interesting storylines going on, and it seems like everything's firing on all cylinders. Can't wait for the Netflix special that's happening January 6th. Going to have some banger matches, and definitely see what the outcomes are going to be.
Yeah, and yep, and also want to mention shout out to End of the Era, 2025, January 6th. It's gonna End of the Era. Officially begins the retirement tour of John Cena. I grew up watching John Cena, so I can't wait. Monday officially starts his 2024 retirement run, so we're gonna see John Cena there. So if y'all follow John Cena throughout your years, your childhood. Obviously, our crew says that John Cena is his childhood hero. But shout out to John Cena. It's been a hell of a ride. Wrestling won't be the same without you once you retire, but you still got a run to do. Last WrestleMania, last Royal Rumble, and last Elimination Chamber, man. Um, you can't see me. But yeah, anything you want to say about John Cena before we wrap this off?
Yeah, I do remember when John Cena debuted way back in 1999, 2000, like right around the end of the beginning of the 2000. I mean, it's been a long, long time since John Cena's been in WWE. Definitely, the guy definitely should go for one more round, one more elimination chamber, one more Royal
And
Rumble,
one more
one
and
more
one more championship to beat Ric Flair's
one more
record.
WrestleMania, and it would be really cool, if John Cena takes himself and he finally gives us that heel John Cena. If he gives us heel John Cena just once, just once, if he's been a face all his life, but if he finally just gives us that one heel John Cena, you know, and that would make it wonderful and a wonderful end to his career, going forward. And he would be a really good guy that could really push Cody Rhodes, you know, and push Roman and push all these guys into into the more of them and help them develop more as a wrestler going forward. I know he's not the same guy that he was, but he's 40, he's near 40, 45, 50, whatever his age is now. Um, but yeah, man, I mean, John Cena's from that Attitude Era. He's one of the last remaining guys that's left from the Attitude Era days. Him and Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar has not been seen since some time since he's been in that uh, case going on with Vince McMahon. But John Cena is one of those guys from way back in the Attitude Era. It's interesting that we see him there, and he's there. It's going to be sad to see him go, but WWE has so much talent now. The future is endless. That's all I can say about that.
All right, so that would do it, guys, for Monday Night Raw. Thank you guys for watching. My name is Bruin Steele. This is Canadian Yorker. Be sure to check out Canadian Yorker's YouTube link. The link will be in the description of this video, as well as our WWE Wrestling Bros channel, which is our wrestling channel. That will also be in the link of the description. But my name is Bruin Steele. Thank you guys for watching, and this is Canadian Yorker. We'll see you guys in the next broadcast. And once again, Happy New Year. I hope you guys had a fantastic 2024. And we are out. See you guys in the next broadcast. Take it easy. Enjoy the rest of your night.
Take care.